What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, coming to y'all with that analysis. We gonna talk about Jalen top five lock to some or most or consensus of people. Suggs. I think Jalen Suggs is one of the hyped and most interesting prospects just because he has great athleticism for his position, great touch, and great understanding of what's supposed to be going on when it comes to play calling, when to be at on the court, and the fact that he can play all ball. This guy can do catch and shoot threes, spot up threes, and he can also, if you close out hard, he can put the ball on the ground, make the right pass, potentially knock down the mid range every once in a while, and explode to the basket, get to the free throw line, which he's good at, or just finish in general. So those are the basics of Suggs. Also a solid rebounder for his position, which we're starting to see a lot more guards rebound the ball more, even in the NBA. So I think that will translate excellent in transition, pushing the ball, attacking defense when they're not set, and also just getting to the rim or figuring out how to decoy himself to be able to get to the basket or allow his speed to create a situation where somebody can be open, whether it's a layup, dunk, or a three, or just getting the defense all balanced. So it'd be a 4-on-5, 3-on-5, and they can find somebody in semi transition. So those are like the basic skills that he hosts. I think that's why I'm a little low on Jalen Suggs. I'm high on Cade and Jalen Green and Mobley. I'm low on Suggs just because I look at Suggs as just a floor general. And those are essential to the NBA. Those are important to the NBA because you need guys that understand their game. You need guys that understand their role. And you need guys to do specific things. And I think Jalen Suggs has the mentality, the poise, and the IQ to be a floor general, a maestro, a guy that just understands where guys at, understands how to make the right decision, and understands how to win games. And ultimately, that's something that you don't get in a rookie. You don't really get in a 20-year-old, 19-year-old, 21-year-old. You get that more or less when you've been in the league a couple years, and he's going to bring that right out the gate. And I think that's what makes him worthy of a top five pick to a lot of people, and his athleticism. You want guys that can really be a terror. You want guys that can really be exciting and sells ticket and makes guys people want to watch. And the fact that he actually got a stroke on him too is important because most guys that are great athletes or great attackers usually can't shoot or usually are just so below average as shooters. And at least he hits the shots that matter most, which is threes. And in an analytics driven NBA where guys want you to go to the basket, guys want you to shoot the three, Jalen Suggs already possesses those skills already as a rookie. Now we just gonna have to see him do it consistently at the NBA level for us to really judge if it's really a legitimate skill or was it just college? Because we see a lot of great guys that shoot well in college or shoot decent in college, but it don't really translate to the NBA level, especially because if you're not open, it's tough to be able to get and generate good quality threes if you can't do it off the dribble. And that's why we see a lot of guys at the point guard position being able to do that. And that's something that Jalen Suggs is definitely going to have to master if he wants to become a higher level guard. And the only reason why I say that is he can be a Jamal Murray type of guy here. A lot of people bring him up where we all know Jamal Murray can play. We all respect Jamal Murray as a player, especially when he was healthy. But we always wanted a little bit more out of him. We've seen what he can do. We've seen what he's capable of. We've seen him at his low. We've seen him at his high. We've seen him for what he is at this point. And some people will look at him as a disappointment. Some people look at him as a max caliber player. Some people look at him as a guy that can be more and should be more. And he still has time to become that, even though he's coming off a major injury. But I see the same in Suggs. It's like when I watch Suggs, I'm a guy that respects his game. I understand what he brings to the table and why people like him. But I also want a little bit more. I don't see superstar in Jalen Suggs. And if I'm taking this guy in the top five and he can't be my one or two, it's just tough to swallow that pill knowing that I might be getting my fourth, third, or fifth best player with a top five pick. Now, I only say that because that's just what he has shown me, and that's just how I feel like he even played at college. And even when you watch his best games, it never really gets to the point where you can see it consistently being something that he'll do, especially in his first couple years in the NBA, because this is just a whole new level. He's going to play with teammates, different coach, different system, different styles of play than what he did in college. And that's going to take some time to get adjusted to and be able to get acclimated in, especially if he has a big role or a smaller role or even coming off the bench, where I can see too, because I have Jalen Suggs falling. The lowest I can see him fall into is Oklahoma. The question is, do the Thunder even want Jalen Suggs? That's the biggest question. And if he doesn't go to Oklahoma, he can fall even further unless a team takes best talent available, which he will be within that top five. Because people look at a lot of guys as being locks at certain spots and won't fall no further than that. Jalen Suggs is supposed to be top five. I don't really see any team really taking him top five unless they're trading him and going down, or they're picking him just because he's the best talent that they can get at that position, and they'll figure out everything else later in their free agency and during the season and the years that he's there. And that's something that makes him intriguing, just because if he's not a superstar and he's not a franchise guy, then what is I'm really trying to get? And that's where I look at him being successful later in the draft, still in the lottery, to teams that have established guys that don't play the point guard position, and he can just play within that system, play with off those players like he kind of did in college. The only difference is he's playing with higher level guys and better teammates, because the NBA players are better than the college players. And if they already have established stars and established go-to guys, he just has to fit in, play his game, do his thing, and it just come natural, and then you just ride and die for what he becomes in the future. Because I still think Jalen Suggs can be better than what we think. I just have to judge him based off what I see now and what he brings to the table at this point in time. And he's going to be a guy that, to me, is going to have a lot of people scratching their head. What is I'm going to do with him? What is we going to, get for him? And what is we really going to do with him? Just because a lot of these teams already have point guards. A lot of these teams have guys that they like over Jalen Suggs. And if you don't like him, or you don't think he can get you over the hump, then you trade down, like I said before, and probably, pass on them or get somebody else that you feel like can be integrated into your system, or even become more of a trade chip. Because the point guard position, as we've done seen year after year, is only getting more and more loaded. And guys already have their franchise guy, or a guy that can hold that position down for a couple more years. And even the teams that want to rebuild in point guard, they either have a young one already in this draft, or they got a guy that they want more than Suggs, which that will be their priority, and that will cause him to drop. But when you look at his defense, you gotta like the competitiveness in him, the hustle, the energy, the ability to stay glued to his man, the ability to really want to compete on that end of the court. I always gotta give commends to guys like that, because you don't really see guys wanting to be great defenders, wanting to play defense, especially when they're a top pick. And most of the people that are known for that never really become elite defenders, especially as rookies, because their body just physically not there, even though his is, and their understanding of the game, the fouls and everything, just takes a toll on you as a guy that's fresh, being tossed into the fire as a starter. And even though we know him respect level as a good defender for his position, it's a whole new ball game in the NBA when guys are better, taller, bigger, and have more skills and more ways to attack you, because they have better talent around them than what you played against in college. So even though I understand why people like Jalen Suggs, even though I understand why he is a top five lock for a lot of people, a lot of it is because of his know-all, his talent, and his understanding of the game, and his competitiveness on the defensive end. But my biggest question is, will he be a franchise pillar? Will he be a franchise cornerstone? That's what I want in a top five pick. I don't know if I'm getting that if I pick Jalen Suggs. His upside is there, but I just haven't seen enough in high school and college for me to really be excited if I'm taking him with a top five pick. But I do understand why people wouldn't like it that I said it. I understand why people would be against it. But when I watched him in college, I watched him in high school, and I just watched how the NBA is played and how the NBA is officiated, and how the point guard is probably the toughest position to guard and grow in, because each and every night you're going against a good guard, even on bad teams, it can be frustrating, it can be irritating. Plus, they're going to try to embarrass you because they're doing it to everybody else in the league that play that position. It could be very annoying and very tough for a guy to be thrown into the fire now at the point guard position, but that's what he will be if he is a franchise guy to the team that drafts him. I question it. I wonder is he is. I wonder can he be. But then again, Jamal Murray hasn't became an All Star, hasn't become an All NBA player either, and he has had a decent career. We wanted a little bit more. We still think he could have gave us a little bit more, but he's perfect for his teammates. He's perfect for his situation, and he's also perfect for what the Denver Nuggets need him to do. Um, but he also needed other guys to be around him to be able to be the player that he is today and thrive. And I can see the same thing happening to Suggs. He can be the right floor general, the right point guard for the right system, the right teammates that's already there, but he's probably not going to be more than that. That's not a terrible thing. That's not a bad thing. You just got to find the right team and the right coach that can utilize you and put you in the best situation and understand what you are and grow, learn, develop throughout the years, and he can be a solid starter in the NBA. Maybe not franchise changing, maybe not MVP, superstar in the league, but an all-star caliber guy. And that's not terrible at five. You want a little bit more if you're picking them in the top five. But if you're getting that, you will take it, because if that's the best you can get or that's what you feel that you need, you got to live with that decision. Other than that, let me know what I got right, what I got wrong. I read every comment. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, I'm gone. And let me know what you guys think about Suggs.